Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. Today we bring you some significant news. At 74, Princess Anne finally confirmed all we thought about Camilla. A quarrel has started to surface behind the picturesque facade of the palace. Princess Anne, the only daughter of the Queen, is commencing legal action against Queen Camilla. A multitude have conjectured about the reason behind Princess Anne's ire. The response like that to the British monarchy is shrouded in mystery. Can we clarify the mystery? Let us show you the British royal family is noted for its power dynamics, established conventions, traditions, and an impeccable public persona. Unless a bitter, familial, legal conflict emerges and compromises this picture. This scenario is comparable to the relationship between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. This case is significant due to the unique nature of one royal family member suing another, leading to public shock and investigations. Could this indicate the beginning of an unparalleled royal conflict is a result of long-standing hostility between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla? What tactics did Camilla take to cause Princess Anne to resort to such drastic measures? It is crucial to identify the persons to understand the gravity of this issue. A former royal butler described Princess Anne as very grounded and unassuming. Nonetheless, he continued by portraying her as a person of widespread admiration and said that she had qualities similar to those of her parents. He praised her unassuming nature, claiming that she did not want her children to have noble titles. Princess Anne's charitable activities have profoundly influenced her life for decades, beginning with her leadership of Save the Children UK in 1970. Subsequent to her participation with them in her capacity at the foundation, she has maintained a rigorous schedule traversing many nations and instigating change via her humanitarian efforts. Princess Anne excels in facilitating positive change via her partnership with over 300 charities in the UK and internationally, including the founding of organizations such as the Princess Royal Trust for Carers, now known as Carers Trust. In contrast, Queen Camilla has become an intriguing figure with the disclosure of her enduring relationship with King Charles. The tale captivated a worldwide audience. Yet before that, Camilla was mysterious. This modification occurred in 2004 when novelist and playwright Kate Moss met her at an event for gourmet author Tom Parker Bowles. Camilla's child, as Kate recalls, stood in line for the restroom and conversed spontaneously with a woman with an enchanting giggle. She had a delightful chuckle and showed exceptional generosity. It was not until after that evening that Kate realized the woman with whom she had been chatting was in reality Camilla Parker Bowles. Years have elapsed since Queen Camilla was labeled the most despised woman in Britain and termed the third woman in the affair between Charles and Diana. In 1970, Camilla spoke to Charles about her great-grandmother's position as the mistress of his great-great-grandfather. They were oblivious to the prospects that awaited them. Her contemporaries assert that Camilla never anticipated succeeding to the throne, never in a million years, as the Marchioness of Lansdowne noted, because she assumed that she and Charles would not stay together, much less marry. Conversely, Prince Harry has a different viewpoint. Camilla aimed to wed Charles and attain the status of queen, irrespective of the repercussions. Harry has described Camilla as dangerous and a villain. She aimed to rehabilitate her image, and regardless of any preliminary conversations or negotiations, she was certain that this strategy would be the most efficacious. Camilla had in her life at Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee speech. Queen Elizabeth used the opportunity to express her sincere wish for Camilla to be designated as Queen Consort if Charles were to succeed her on the throne. Over time, Elizabeth developed a profound admiration for Camilla, particularly because of her steadfast activism on several topics, especially the campaign against violence against women. Surprised many considering her previous denunciation of Camilla and Charles's relationship. The Queen was also satisfied with Camilla's approach to royal duties. Following her ascent, Camilla accepted her role as Queen, and since then, there may have been latent conflicts as Queen Camilla adjusted to her responsibilities. Insiders suggest that Princess Anne may have unease owing to Camilla's ascendant influence, since this transition might have modified the power dynamics inside the palace. Irrespective of the circumstances, Anne may have seen a threat influencing her action. Before their royal association, the lives of Anne and Camilla were markedly unlike. During most of Princess Anne's childhood, she encountered public scrutiny and distortion. She was described as distant and arrogant, earning the nickname her royal rudeness. A prominent incident transpired during the 1982 horse trials event when she commanded photographers to naff off. Vanity Fair posited that she inherited her father's tendency to convey harsh truths with a facade of humor. Her dedication to public duty as a princess is genuine and not only superficial. She said that the challenge in fulfilling their duties is not only about obtaining a checkmark for completion, but rather pertains to the quality of service. Moreover, she said that it took 10 years for her to be convinced to participate in Save the Children's public dialogues, and she has since been acknowledged as the most diligent royal, having fulfilled 88 engagements from 2002 to 2022. Princess Anne has been one of the most esteemed members of the British royal family. Individuals her genuineness and her disdain for a strict traditional approach. She is often considered a national treasure due to her commitment to public service and her audacity in defying traditions. For instance, she autonomously applies her cosmetics and styles, her hair drives herself to events, and even surprisingly waits in line for restroom access during her daughter's equestrian competitions. The most admirable quality of Princess Anne is her humility. She does not portray herself as extraordinary, but stays genuine, unassuming, and humble, especially about manual labor. She alone maintains the fences on her property without a problem. During her public appearances, she abstains from shaking hands with all individuals, considering it imprudent to selectively welcome some people in this way. Furthermore, Princess Anne seeks financial support for humanitarian initiatives that often remain unnoticed by the public. She is passionate about democratizing sailing and acts as a supporter of the National Lighthouse Museum. Notwithstanding her senior age, she has no intention of abdicating her royal responsibilities in the foreseeable future. She emulates her parents and displays intense patriotism. Besides her charity pursuits, Princess Anne has a keen enthusiasm for fashion. She is passionate about setting fashion trends, and former British Vogue editor Edward Enninful has shown his respect for her dedication to wearing sustainable clothing before its widespread adoption. Princess Anne has always avoided flamboyant clothing. Her fashion taste is rooted in classic British style, preferring local brands. Her wardrobe is constant and traditional, defined by tweeds and suits reflecting her enthusiasm for country life and equestrian pursuits. Unlike other royal family members, Princess Anne is distinguished for wearing the same attire at two separate occasions: her floral print dress, which she first wore to the wedding of the Prince of Wales in 1981, and subsequently at the wedding of Lady Rose Windsor in 2008, a period of 27 years. Recently, she was acknowledged as the patron of the UK Fashion and Textile Association, providing support for British fashion. She likes using cutout patterns and vivid colors, and because of her hectic lifestyle, she emphasizes comfort. During the 1970s and 1980s, Princess Anne preferred stylish garments, often distinguished by puff sleeves, floral motifs, and vibrant stripes. This cemented her position as one of the most stylish royals. Princess Anne notably outshines many of her cousins in design choices, having become one of the few women who choose military-style dress paired with a military-style belt for royal occasions. She is seldom seen without a brooch attached to her clothing. Queen Camilla's history has been comprehensive. The public saw her affair with King Charles as the most consequential scandal, thus inciting turmoil within the royal family. Even Diana's children with Charles, Prince William, and Prince Harry were unable to reconcile with it. Camilla's bond with Charles transcends ordinary audacious adventures. Camilla lived in a domain where lineage, historical legacy, nobility, and social status held utmost importance. Although the friendship between Camilla and Prince Charles gradually developed into a passionate relationship, the pair had a fervent romance that lasted 18 months. Camilla found comfort in the prince and felt comfortable seeking his counsel, a nuanced dynamic that her parents could not comprehend. Nonetheless, the profound attachment between the two was not favorably seen by several others. Charles's great-uncle Dickie Mountbatten had a very unfavorable opinion of Camilla, seeing her as unsuitable for the monarchy. Mountbatten's traditional views on marriage and relationships were clear. A man should partake in several affairs before committing, while he ought to choose a good, attractive, and pleasant lady as a bride before she had been involved with others. In January 1973, following his uncle's advice, Charles started a 7-month journey aboard the HMS Narva, far from Camilla. It is said that Mountbatten engineered this to enable their separation. However, Charles's uncle was not the only dissenter over their relationship. The Queen actively used the connection between Charles and Diana. As Charles left, Camilla seemed to have no option. The love of her life had disappeared, and the news of his departure struck her like a bee sting. Did she anticipate his return, or was she once again enthralled by Andrew? Charles articulated his sentiments in a dramatic declaration, signifying that the day he took Camilla to see the ship heralded the beginning of the unavoidable denouement. At the age of 29, Prince Charles encountered increasing pressure to wed, despite his enduring fondness for the woman he loved. Unfortunately, Camilla was married at the time, compelling Charles to abandon his pursuit, or so it was believed. The Queen had already chosen a suitable spouse for her son, Lady Diana. She was young, reticent, and notably a noblewoman. Charles had known Diana from childhood, but did not see her as a love interest until she reached the age of 18. Unexpectedly, Charles requested Camilla to befriend Diana and assist her in overcoming her shyness. However, Prince Charles's marriage to Diana deteriorated years after their wedding. The passion they had experienced had dissipated, replaced by hostility and frustration. Nevertheless, Charles was unable to extricate himself from the marriage. At that point, his only source of hope was his love for his children, Prince William and Prince Harry. However, this euphoria was transient as the decline of his relationship with his wife eclipsed his situation. In 1992, the Prime Minister declared the decision to discontinue the initiative in the House of Commons. The message conveyed sorrow at the separation of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. In January 1993, the Sunday People and Sunday Mirror aired tapes revealing the connection between Prince Charles and Camilla, causing a media frenzy. The telephone conversations between Prince Charles and Camilla showed their profound passion for each other. The transcripts published in major worldwide outlets revealed their need for closeness, their struggle to part ways, and their deep discontent with their respective marriages. All people expressed dissatisfaction. Camilla, hitherto removed from the media limelight, was propelled into the public view. The palace endured humiliation, resulting in the effective dissolution of Prince Charles's marriage. Diana harbored anger against Camilla. In 1989, this feeling seemed to reach its peak at Lady Annabelle's 40th birthday celebration, the very occasion Charles had been urging Diana to decline. Diana, however, dismissed this counsel. She was resolute about confronting Camilla during the party. She faced Camilla with wrath, declaring, "I want you to understand that I am fully aware of the situation between you and Charles." Yesterday. This statement left Camilla extremely uncomfortable. This confrontation was only the inception. Diana had her first interview with Martin Bashir 3 years subsequent to her separation from Charles, the then Prince of Wales. Her assertion transformed the perspective. "There were 3 of us in this marriage, making it suffocating." The suggestion provoked an uproar, and the interpretation was clear. Camilla was the superfluous third person in their relationship. Camilla was disparaged and seen as the spiteful other woman and a Rottweiler, as the media and public embraced Diana's claim. Faced with the nation's anger, Camilla had no choice but to prove her difference from the Rottweiler moniker she had received. Due to her flawed self-image, Camilla had little option other than to foster a favorable reputation. This also required maintaining a positive rapport with Princess Anne, which was fairly difficult. What was the result of the event? Let us investigate the hidden history of Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. Princess Anne constantly showed aloofness towards Camilla, which was predictable considering her analogous behavior towards Charles's paramours. Camilla had significant difficulties in her connection with Princess Anne because of their shared past. For many years, Anne opposed the idea of Camilla acquiring the title of Queen Consort upon the prince's elevation to the throne. She earlier said Camilla will never be a legitimate queen. However, healing a wounded spirit takes time, and Anne has seen Camilla's steadfast dedication to the monarchy and her deep sense of obligation. On February 10, 2005, Clarence House announced the engagement of Camilla Parker Bowles to Prince Charles. Charles presented Camilla with a magnificent diamond ring inherited from his grandmother. Subsequent to his mother's death, Camilla and Charles were married on April 9, 2005. Although Camilla's parents were not present for the wedding, her son Parker Bowles and her stepson Prince William acted as witnesses to the ceremony. Camilla assumed the position of Queen Consort on September 8, 2022, after her husband's coronation as King Charles III, after the death of Queen Elizabeth. On September 10th, she attended the accession council during which Charles was formally proclaimed king, and she served as a witness with her stepson William. Queen Camilla and Princess Anne have a significant history. For years, Camilla had an intermittent relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles. Before their marriage, their story was filled with fascinating connections and fortuitous events. In the 1960s, it was common for debutantes to choose white clothes. At that time, Camilla, as a debutante, selected a black silk and chiffon gown for a cocktail party hosted by her parents in Knightsbridge. Camilla met Andrew Parker Bowles at one of these events. Andrew was a notable officer in the Royal Horse Guards and engaged in polo with Prince Charles. During the following 6 years, the couple had a difficult relationship marked by Andrew's infidelity as he sought several liaisons with other women, including some of Camilla's friends. During this period, Camilla and Prince Charles developed a robust relationship. Camilla had a profound bond with Lucia, whom she first saw in 1970 at one of her parents' soirees. Lucia later established a rapport with Camilla and maintained a friendship with Prince Charles. She had only favorable thoughts of her association with Camilla, describing her as very generous for allowing her to borrow attire and providing her with lodgings. Lucia wistfully recalled the moment she was to be separated from her family for the first time. Nevertheless, Camilla encouraged her to join her family in the countryside. Despite the potential for it to be one of Lucia's most melancholic Christmases, it eventually transformed into her most splendid. She later presented Camilla to Prince Charles after the termination of her romance with Andrew. During Andrew's wooing of Princess Anne's sister of Prince Charles, he was a tough suitor. Brian Hoy, Anne's official biographer, said in the documentary, "Princess Anne, what we never knew about the 7 loves of her life, that the public saw the bond between the two as robust. However, it did not go towards the aisle because of Andrew's Catholicism, since a marriage between royalty and a Catholic was theoretically unimaginable at that time. This resulted from the Act of Settlement of 1701, which prohibited Catholics and anyone married to Catholics from inheriting the crown. Anne was 4th in line to the throne after her 3 brothers. This constraint likely posed a considerable burden for the couple, and this rule may have contributed to the breakdown of their relationship. However, others contend that Charles and Camilla started their romance when Anne and Andrew were still together. Victoria Howard, editor of the Crown Chronicles, said that Camilla may have pursued vengeance in response to Andrew's infidelity, with Anne leading her to start a liaison with Prince Charles. The marriage of Charles and Camilla, significant upheaval within the royal family. Over the years, Princess Anne and Andrew Parker Bowles have maintained a strong connection. Royal biographer Tom Quinn said that Anne likely acknowledged the benefits of friendship with Andrew above a romantic relationship. Unfortunately, the close relationship between Anne and Andrew led to difficulties at the end of Anne's first marriage to Captain Mark Phillips. Before Anne and Philip's separation in 1989, it was reported that Anne was involved in an affair with Andrew. Phillips was reportedly involved in adulterous affairs throughout his marriage to Anne. Yet these claims did not diminish the intimacy between Andrew and Anne. Despite the complexities of Anne's relationship with Queen Camilla over the years, the two have forged a bond. At royal events, they have showcased their cordial relationship and occasionally joked about their portrayal as romantic adversaries in the crown. Recently, Princess Anne, along with King Charles and Queen Camilla, hosted a prestigious reception at Buckingham Palace to celebrate humanitarian organizations and their anniversaries. In a manner akin to her wedding day in 1992, Princess Anne subtly recognized her marriage to Sir Timothy Lawrence. She wore a white skirt suit evocative of the one she sported on her wedding day 33 years before. Princess Anne characterized her wedding by choosing a simple ceremony in Scotland with just 30 attendees instead of a conventional white gown and opulent evening celebration. Princess Anne donned her little seahorse brooch, navy footwear, matching gloves, a silk scarf, and a white skirt suit for the recent occasion. Concurrently, Queen Camilla wore a splendid blue dress embellished with the historic Greville Cartier ivy leaf brooches, which possess a royal lineage dating back to the 1930s. Additional attendants included the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, with distinguished guests like actress Ruth Wilson. The passage of time has likely resolved any issues, fostering a cordial bond between the Queen and Anne. What prompted the legal proceedings? The legal processes started on the University of London's Foundation Day, an occasion often characterized by grandeur. However, this year was exceptional. At the age of 77, Queen Camilla was slated to receive an honorary degree in literature from the institution, with Princess Anne serving as the chancellor. Upon the arrival of the royal cars, the crowd saw Queen Camilla and Princess Anne alight. Camilla, adorned in an exquisite dress, and Anne, elegantly dressed, were welcomed by Professor Wendy Thompson, the Vice-Chancellor of the university, and Sir Mark Look, the Chair of the Board of Trustees. From the commencement of the ceremony, it was apparent that the occasion was an exceptional event. Camilla instinctively gestured for Anne to enter the room first in accordance with royal protocol. Nonetheless, Anne, aware of the restrictions and their importance, smiled politely, rejected, and urged the Queen to proceed. No fixed tradition of royal etiquette exists. It just functions as a guideline inside the palace that promotes stability. Although Princess Anne was born into the royal family as the offspring of Queen Elizabeth, and Prince Philip, Camilla has a higher rank as the Queen. Anne's hesitance incited conjecture over her ulterior objectives. Camilla was admitted into the honor list of honorary graduates, which included King George, Queen Mary, Sir Winston Churchill, and Dame Judi Dench, and later bestowed honors upon 4 other notable individuals. During Camilla's turn, Sir Mark Look presented a laudatory eulogy highlighting her significant achievements in literacy and education, underscoring her commitment as a public servant marked by grace, empathy, and steadfast zeal. Subsequent to her marriage with King Charles, her commitment to promoting reading and literature illustrates her passion and belief in the transformative power of books. He stated it is fitting that this honorary doctorate of literature recognizes Her Majesty's extraordinary efforts to advance literacy and education, not solely as a civic duty, but as a personal dedication fueled by a lifelong passion for reading. Her Majesty's contributions have influenced numerous lives and will persist in inspiring future generations of readers and writers. Princess Anne praised Queen Camilla for her contemporary approach, while King Charles was a progressive figure in the administration of the royal family. Charles has continually tackled environmental issues, including the climate crisis, conservation, and organic farming. In a video showcasing King Charles's coronation, the King, his robes, the program shown on BBC One in December 2026, the family's conduct about their royal duties. Princess Anne recognized the difficulties inherent in planning for such a significant move. King Charles was the designated successor to the throne and the oldest person to assume the British monarchy. Before his coronation in May, the King frequently championed environmental causes, and his commitment to this cause has endured throughout his reign. He recently provided opening remarks at the Global Climate Conference COP28, expressing concerns about progress in tackling the climate crisis. While substantial progress has been made, I am deeply apprehensive that we are still significantly misaligned, he said. Nonetheless, speculation started prior to the event's completion. Did Anne's controlled, distant demeanor reflect her usual reluctance, or did it imply something deeper? For weeks, talk emerged over a possible rift between the two women, with reports indicating that Anne was prepared to sue the Queen. That evening, the rumors escalated considerably. Subsequently, the palace released an unexpected statement. Camilla's withdrawal from the Royal Variety performance was attributed to a chronic chest condition. It was only a health issue. Still, it elicited warning signals. Multiple queries emerged. Why did Camilla refuse to participate in such a ceremony? Was it related to the occurrences during the university ceremony? The royal family seemed to be more mired in controversies. They had never encountered a tumultuous event, whether a divorce scandal or the death of Princess Diana, until an extraordinary legal dispute emerged among senior royals. The consequences may be debilitating or, more critically, destroy familial bonds and erode people's confidence in the monarchy. Nonetheless, amid the current turmoil, no confirmation has been issued by the palace. King Charles exhibited a serene demeanor, disclosing nothing as he proceeded with his engagements, whereas Camilla's every move was subjected to intense public scrutiny driven by a need for knowledge. Princess Anne continued to do her duties despite the increasing tales. The media speculation escalated. Some suggested that Anne sought to uphold traditions, while others said that Camilla's influence within the family and public domain was the primary concern. No significant evidence substantiated these claims, and the royal family continued to fulfill their duties. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for now.